All right, I got myself a TBR card, which is very exciting. If I have any B footage, I'll show it or whatever. But chances are, if I have B footage, it might be on my Patreon or whatever. But regardless, I really like it. It's kind of a little nicer than some of the metal TBR cards, in my opinion, because it has like a bamboo shelf for each level, and I think it looks nice with my bamboo shelves. Regardless, that's where all my TBR is, and it all fits. I didn't count, but all my physical TBR fits on the TBR card. Yay, we're starting off great. And everyone's doing their 24 to read in 2024. I don't have the spoons for that, but I have these 13 physical TBR books that I really want to get to this year. And I figured now is a good time to be like, I really would like to pick these up, try them out. I have some plans for some of these. I don't have plans for other, but when I was putting them on a shelf, it's like, oh yeah, I have this book, I want to read it. So these are my highest priority physical TBR books. And some of them I'll mention that if I don't read them this year, they gotta go. I've had them for too long. Obviously, I'm not interested enough. But for the most part, this is not actually read these or they explode sort of TBR situation. But I just thought I'd show you guys. So starting with this stack over here, because I just made stacks around me, so there's no rhyme or reason, but this is Too Like the Lightning. This is one of the books that is needed for my series to start in 2024. And I do have plans to read this. I'm going to start reading this in March with my Patreon. We have kind of 2 series buddy reads this year. One will be for the Burning Kingdoms, and the other one is going to be for this, Terra Ignota, because I wanted to, and enough other people wanted to that I'm like, yeah, let's do it. So I've got the first one, and if I like them, I will keep buying them. They're nice floppy paperbacks, so pretty excited. I forgot that I have You Made a Fool of Death with Your Beauty by Kweki Emezi, and Laura at a book circus was just talking about this either on most surprising or best books of the year. I don't know which. This is a messy romance book, and I've been wanting to read it for a while. I think the main character falls in love with the father of the person she's just friends with, but they had a friends with benefits relationship while they go on vacation together. I don't know. It's messy. I hear it's a really good one, and it's about, long-term recovery from grief, I think, because I think this is 5 years after the death of her, I don't know if it's husband or first love or something like that. I like a Kweki Emezi. I like the idea that they play in many different genres, so I think this is the next one I want to read by them. I also got at our half-price bookstore Juniper and Thorn. I don't think I'll read this earlier in the year, but it seems like a fantastic fall book. This is I think, gothic, horror, dark fairy tale, which, if you don't know, is kind of something I'm always reaching for. And I saw this one, and I wanted to buy this earlier, but I didn't like how the dust jackets were put on the books at my local bookstore. It wasn't them who did it, but how they were put on and then shipped to the bookstore. I'm weird when I pick books for my collection, and this was in great condition, and it was on sale for $13, which for a hardcover these days, this was sold for $28, so a steal. So yeah, I want to read it, and this would be my first Ava read, and if I liked it, I would go and read The Wolf and the Woodsman. I had to check, make sure it wasn't For the Wolf or something, because again, sometimes trends make it hard for me to understand books. This is the second to last of my hardcovers, and this is one that will explode. This is an exploding book. If I do not pick it up this year, it's going away. And the only reason it's still here is because I did pick it up at one point and I didn't hate the writing. I was actually kind of intrigued. It kind of felt like one of those claustrophobic sci-fi books, and that is We Have Always Been Here. Like I said, it's claustrophobic, sci-fi, thriller sort of thing in space. I am drawn to those, even though I don't read them all the time, but there's an itch I have for them. I like those movies, so I want to give it a shot. Maybe this winter, because that kind of feels like a winter read, and The Deep Sky kind of has me in the mood, because that's what I've been reading as I'm filming this video, whenever you might be seeing this. So yeah, but this is an exploding book. I bought it mainly because it's my favorite color, if you can't tell. I love this color scheme, and it's a debut author, and I thought the font was interesting. That's another thing, it's really tiny font. But I think this is a Vietnamese American author. And so, I don't know. There were a lot of things that made me want to pick it up, but none of them were based off reviews. So, and in general, it's gotten very okay reviews. All right, this next stack has another series that I want to start this year, so I decided to get the first book. And if I do read it, I'm going to have to tell Leanna so that she can read it for the 7th time. And that's The Wolf by Leo Carew. I've just heard such good things about it. And the fact that Jessie May and Leanna both really like this book has me so curious about it. And I've been really loving quality cultural world building in my fantasy books lately, so I'm just curious if this will be one that also scratches the itch for me. And it's a finished series by Orbit. I just like how these books look, so I wouldn't mind owning them all. Like, I think this is very satisfying. So that's one I would like to read this year. I have Unraveling by Karen Lord, which I've just been holding off for a rainy day, and I need to not do that. This is my last Karen Lord besides some short stories that I haven't read. And I think there's going to be a new bind-up with Redemption and Indigo because they're both in the same world. But I've been told by her in our interview that this is more horror, which, yes, it's kind of been my horror era the last couple years. And I'm like, yeah, I want a dark, unsettling take on that whimsical fairy tale story that I just read. Let's go. So yeah, so I love this cover. Like, I love it. I love it so much, so I need to read it. This next one, I've been wanting to read since I joined BookTube, and I found a copy at my bachelorette party because we went bookstore bar hopping. It wasn't bar hopping, but the equivalent of bar hopping, but for bookstores in Chicago. And I actually found this in the wild, and this is Elysium. This is like small indie press publishing. The author of this does have a tour release. I can't remember the name of it. Into the Deep Light, Dark Light. It was a Persephone retelling. This one, though, is another, I think, I don't know. It's a sci-fi story, and I just think her brain is really interesting, and I really want to read it. I think I first heard of it from Njeri at Onyx Pages, and I've been wanting to try it out. So this is not an It's Going to Explode book. It's just that, like, I see it, and I'm like, yeah, I would like to read this. Another new release from 2023 that I picked up that I want to read, probably a rainy day sort of situation, but I want it like at my forefront so I know to read it when I see it. That's Bitter Medicine. I think this is more like contemporary fantasy romance, and kind of what I learned from my Goodreads videos last year is I like contemporary fantasy. Like, I like it. I don't know why I thought I didn't like it. I just think I didn't read a lot of it, especially a lot of it that wasn't just straight urban fantasy. So, contemporary fantasy, and I've got characters, I think, trying to find balance in life. I think it's friends to lovers, maybe. Like, I don't know if it's, like, straight romance or anything like that, but I don't mind that either. Like, I love a contemporary romance, so contemporary fantasy with romantic elements seems like the perfect book. So, excited to give this a shot. And now I have my stack of sci-fi books that have been languishing on my TBR. Some of these will explode, I think. Well, maybe not some of them, but no, some of these will explode. I gotta make them explode because I've not been prioritizing enough science fiction. As I haven't even done my stats. I don't even know if I'm going to do a stats video from last year because I'm so far behind on that spreadsheet. And, like, I don't know if I care enough to do it because I know for a fact the algorithm doesn't care enough. So I guess if there is a big cry in the comments section of this video of, Angela, no, you must do your stats video, I'll put it together. But in general, in my experience, not that many people care, which means I have to care a lot to do that video. But that is all to say, I know I haven't read enough science fiction because I couldn't make a top 10 science fiction last year, which is outlandish. So here are all of the other science fiction books on my TBR, plus one other book that we'll talk about. So I need to finish, what is this series called? I think it's just called the Chilling Effect series, but I have the next two books. I bought them all on a whim because I liked the first book. I even bought a video game because of the first book. So I need to read these. I won't say I have to read both of them, but by the end of the year, I think this is the second one. I don't think it has a number on it, but I'm pretty sure this is the second one. I need to read this. And if I don't read this, I need to unhaul the series. Like, I'm not reading it. I don't know what I'm doing. It doesn't mean I'll never read it, but I need them to not be on my shelves, and I guess I'll just accept that I'll do the library or something like that. The next one is I have this Arc of the Djinn Bot of Shantyport, which is by Samit Basu, who I liked The City Inside, which is their first book published through Tor. This is their second. I don't know if this is a standalone or not. No one has told me, but people have generally liked it. It's an Aladdin retelling in space. I think he has a nice, interesting voice. I don't know how similar the voice from The City Inside will be for this, because The City Inside is very much like literary science fiction. And I think this is more like maybe pulpy, but probably with a flowery prose, because I can't imagine the author completely disregarding his writing style. I don't know. I'm curious about it. I do love the cover. I am a fan. This next one is the one that will explode, and that is August Keepco and the Mechas from Space. I've been holding on to this. This cover sparks joy. I don't even like pink, but this is just an outlandish cover. Like, I love this. I don't even know if the second book's come out yet, so I will move this up my TBR if the second book is ever announced. The reason I've been holding on to this, and I think the reason I was drawn to it, is it has a strong influence of music with it, and actually someone in my Discord read it who is a musician and was like, oh, the music stuff, you can tell this author, knows music or did a lot of research with it. And I'm always looking for that, especially after reading Light from the Uncommon Stars, which I loved. So I'm curious about this. So I need to at least try it before I unhaul it, but truly, it's been languishing. It's been a year and a half now. Haven't touched it until right now, or while moving, or anything like that. So I need to read it. And the last book, I don't actually know what its genre is, but I just want to read it. And I don't know. I'm not going to make it explode. This is an arc. But it's Into the Light by Marcus Giroux. I love Each of Us a Desert. It's one of my favorite young adult books. And I scream about it all the time. And nobody reads it. And this is another young adult book. I think it's science fiction. I'm not sure. I really want to read it. And I know it's going to be heavy and dark, but of all of my young adult and middle grade that I have on my physical TBR, this is the one I really want to pick up and try, especially with my previous success with this author. So yeah, those are the 13, I believe it's 13, books that I for sure would like to at least pick up, and gives me other room to pick up other books, because my goal is to at least pick up 2 books off my TBR every month, not necessarily to finish reading, but to at least read a chapter or two, figure out what is the mystery behind the cover sort of situation. So definitely leaves a lot of room for, I have a whole bunch of other books on my TBR. I'm just like, my TBR cart's right here. There's a lot of them, a lot of short story collections that bring me a lot of joy. I'm looking at them, it's like, oh, so much goodness in that stack over there. Let me know what your goals are with your physical TBR, if you have any. It's okay if you don't have any goals with your physical TBR. And what books you're really hoping to get to this year if you get to nothing else. If you just want to leave an emoji to let me know you're here. Ooh. I don't know, leave us a sci-fi related emoji. So like a spaceship, an alien, a telescope, I don't know, something like that. Because I'm really trying to manifest science fiction. I'm definitely having more luck with horror, but I would like to bring science fiction back into the fold. All right, that's it for this one. Like if you liked it, subscribe if you want to, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.